This is the HONOR Magic4 Pro, the predecessor to the Magic 3 Pro, which hasn't even been around for 1 year. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks the Magic 4 Pro looks kind of familiar, right? So is there really anything magical about the Magic 4 Pro? Let's see if it's really magic for pros. Here are the 7 things that I find interesting about this phone. The first one is the camera module. Well, most phones usually place their camera module in the upper left corner. HONOR just slaps that big camera module in the middle of the device, as if the camera is staring at you. No wonder why they call it the Eye of Muse. With this massive camera module, we also have some impressive camera specs. On the back, we can see a 50 megapixel main camera for daily snapshots, a 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera that is also capable of macro photography, as well as a 64 megapixel periscope camera with 3.5 times optical zoom and 100 times digital zoom. Oh yeah, but I thought it had 5 cameras. Maybe the remaining 2 are just for decoration? Of course not, because one of them is an 8x8 DTOF laser focusing sensor that assists with focus, especially in dark environments. And the other sensor is used to reduce flickering. Moving on to the second point, the image quality. Let's compare it to the iPhone 13 Pro Max and see how those camera specs translate to real-world performance. In daytime conditions with ample light, both the iPhone and the Magic 4 Pro produces fantastic images. If we zoom in and take a closer look, it is clear that the Magic 4 Pro produces sharper images with the color that look more pleasing to the eye. The Magic 4 Pro also has built-in Ultra Fusion technology, which basically means that 2 cameras will work together to create a better-looking image. At the same time, the Magic 4 Pro has less unwanted digital noises in the image. It seems like the Magic 4 Pro has a more aggressive approach in terms of noise reduction, which does produce better images, but sometimes it can be a little too aggressive to the point that images stop looking natural. While the Magic 4 Pro's camera system is very impressive, it can sometimes be a little inconsistent. For example, in this image, there is some weird ghosting effects going on. Another example will be the autofocus, since sometimes it will focus on other random objects rather than the main subject. As for videos, again, both phones are very capable in daytime conditions except stabilization. When shooting videos while walking down the stairs, it is clear that the Magic 4 Pro is not as stable as the iPhone. Moving on to nighttime photography. This is where the Magic 4 Pro starts to struggle. Unlike the Oppo Find X5 Pro and the Vivo X80 Pro, both of which have a powerful dedicated imaging chip to produce better nighttime photos, and the Magic 4 Pro is kind of lagging behind in this category. The photos captured are a little too bright, which doesn't look natural, and the photos are not as sharp as the iPhone. For some reason, regardless of how dark the environment is, the Magic 4 Pro always exposes for 2 seconds, while the iPhone takes 10 seconds in very dark places. Looking at the result, it's quite obvious which is better. So as for nighttime photography, maybe the Magic 5 Pro could be better. Number 3, Magic Lock. The Magic 4 Pro is capable of shooting videos in 4K at 60 frames per second, and its dedicated movie mode allows you to shoot in a cinematic aspect ratio with 10-bit color depth and lock profiles enabled. If you want to know what 10-bit color depth means for smartphone photography, I'll put the link down below for you to check out. Moving back, a lock profile is like a desaturated low contrast filter that applies to your image, and what it does is to preserve more details in comparison to normal video modes, so you have more flexibility in post-production. However, not everyone knows how to color grade lock footage, so HONOR also has some pre-installed LUTs or filters that mimic colors from popular Hollywood movies. As for the lock profile itself, I have to say there is no significant difference between lock profile and the normal color profile after color correction. But the 10-bit color depth does provide more color information fingerprints and 8-bit colors. I hope HONOR can put more effort into the lock profile to preserve more dynamic range next year. Number 4 on the list, we have Google support as well as other security features. When you unlock the Magic 4 Pro, you will immediately notice the Google Play Store icon, as well as a folder containing all Google services. So it is official that Google is back, and there is no need to go online and download all the APK files from shady looking websites, which may contain some unwanted gas into your phone and cause privacy concerns. Speaking of privacy, the Magic 4 Pro also has a dedicated security chip inside to hold all your sensitive data, including passwords, biometrics like Face IDs and fingerprints and others. As for the fingerprint sensor, I would say it is one of the fastest fingerprint sensors I've ever used. Also, the actual scanning area is a little bigger than it indicates, so there's no need to worry about fingers being off by a little bit. However, I do wish for more customization options, especially in terms of system animations, which is something Magic UI 6 needs to work on next. Performance and battery life. Just like other flagship phones, the Magic 4 Pro also has the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 inside, with 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM along with a massive 4600 mAh battery. In daily use, I would say the battery is enough for my daily activities. In terms of gaming, I would say the phone can handle popular games pretty well. I tried playing Genshin Impact for 30 minutes straight with all the graphics settings turned to medium and with 60 frames per second enabled. And the phone did feel very warm and a little hot, but there were no significant dropped frames or lags, so that would be a pass for me. As for charging, the Magic 4 Pro supports both wired and wireless 100-watt supercharge. According to HONOR, the wired 100-watt can fully charge the Magic 4 Pro in 30 minutes, making it one of the official members of the half-an-hour charging club, and 50% in 15 minutes when using the wireless supercharge, which is quite handy on a business trip. Number 6, we have the display, and it's actually a fantastic display. As for the specs, it is a 6.81-inch LTPO quad curved display with an adaptive refresh rate from 1 to 120 Hz, which is great for saving battery since it changes the refresh rate based on the content you're watching. Also, since it's a curved display, you'll really see the black bezels on the side, which makes the phone look smaller while having a larger screen and feel very comfortable to hold in hand. However, it's still a fairly large screen, so it can sometimes be difficult to reach the upper corners of this phone. While it does have a one-handed mode where you just have to swipe and hold on the lower chain of the phone, I would like to swipe down and everything just comes down to your fingertips. So make it happen, HONOR. Finally, let's talk about the design of the phone. As we can see, we have a perfectly symmetrical line on the back of the phone, which is nice to look at when my mind starts to feel a little chaotic. And I thought the Magic 4 Pro is a perfect example of symmetry until I turned to the front of the phone. Like why, HONOR? Well, I do like the back design. I think the material on the back could be better because it not only feels slippery, so good luck when using this device one-handed on your bed. But also isn't fingerprint free, so a good looking phone cases might be something to be considered. Alright, those were the 7 things that I find interesting about this phone. So is it Magic 4 Pros? I would say yes, most of the time. As for the true professionals, I believe there is still room for improvement. So in conclusion, is the nearly 1,000 pound smartphone a worthy purchase? I would say yes, if you're looking for a phone that just does everything pretty well. If you want to know about how the Vivo X80 Pro performs, click here. And if you want to see reviews of other recent smartphones, click here. And as always, for tech and gadgets, we've got you covered. This is Annalise, over and out.